Wow, this is probably like way too much information, but you guys asked, so we'll just give it to you.
That's a joke.
Too soon. And so like I had nightmares about it. I had to go to therapy about it. I was so scared.
I got to clean that up. Whatever liquid that was, I don't even know. And what everybody is dying to know.
The burning question. We are going to be answering your burning questions about our labor and delivery experience.
I really hope you guys didn't throw anything too hard at us because I did not look at a single one of these questions.
No, I put a poll up on my Instagram and I asked you guys like, what do you want to know? And these were all of the questions. So just jumping right in, the very first one was, were you hoping she was born on Christmas Day?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I did not want her to be born on Christmas Day. I wanted it to be as far away from Christmas Day as possible.
It's actually really funny because literally you did not care at all before you got pregnant when she was born, but your only thing was, I just hope that she's not around Christmas.
Yep.
This is the only date that you did not want her to be around.
Yep.
God's funny. He's got a sense of humor.
I know. What was the hardest part?
Ooh.
For me, the hardest part was scary-wise, I would say the epidural. I was so scared, but it ended up not being a big deal. The hardest part for me was recovery, actually. I would say that was probably the hardest.
I think the hardest part for me was simply feeling a little helpless, like I couldn't do anything to help Courtney out. I mean, I'm gonna try my best to support her and be by her side and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not doing the pushing, I'm not the one getting the epidural, stuff like that, so.
What did you do to prepare? I went a little crazy. I would have like 3 raspberry teas every single day. I ate 6 dates. Like this was all starting around like 34, 36 weeks. Then I went on an hour walk every single day. I did the primrose oil. If it is on the internet telling you to do this to prepare for birth, I was doing it. I was doing absolutely everything. And then as we got closer to labor, I was doing the curb walking, the birth ball, the steps, like you name it, I was probably doing it. But also my labor was so fast that I kind of want to say it was all of the prep that I did.
Could have been.
Yeah, because 16 hours for a first-time mom is like pretty rare.
Yeah. What is your biggest piece of advice to young women or people who are nearing labor?
Pray. Like we were praying so specifically for specific things, and I think that's what made the whole experience so special, because it was one answered prayer after another answered prayer after another. Like we were praying that we didn't have to get induced, and my water broke the day before I was supposed to be induced. We were praying that like the epidural didn't hurt, and it didn't. Sorry, I don't mean to scare you guys, but there were so many things that I was praying for that just all happened. Like the nurses were so nice, labor was so fast. Because we were praying so specifically, now I feel like we can give all of that credit to the Lord. Like any advice you would give?
To young women?
Or to men.
Don't sit idly by. You can do some things. You know, you can do a little bit of research. I probably still could have done more, but just support your woman, your wife, girlfriend, whoever it is, the best that you can.
Did Alex watch, or did he want to stay near your head?
So I wanted to stay near your head, but that didn't mean I didn't necessarily want to watch either. So I took a couple glances, but I was up by your side the entire time.
What was it like watching it?
Honestly, like it was less focus about what was actually happening and more focus on you. So it was fast. It happened really fast. It was a blur.
How long was the labor process? So from the moment my water broke to the moment she came out was 16 hours. Were you scared due to the things said about birth? Yes. Oh my goodness. So my mom had a bad experience with labor. My grandma had a bad experience with labor. So like my whole life, people have just scared me. So I was terrified. And it's not scary.
How did you know you were going into labor?
I didn't. Honestly, like I lost my mucus plug at 2, and just around 5 o'clock, it literally felt like I peed myself. And like my water just broke, and that's, I guess, when I knew I was going into labor. Did Alex cry when he saw the baby?
It wasn't like immediate, but when she came out and then Courtney was like, oh, don't forget to pray for her, because that was the original plan the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as I started praying, then I started crying, because then it's kind of surreal literally praying for my daughter as she's sitting there. So I cried at that point.
What was your perspective, and were you scared or stressed?
What was my perspective?
Well, because I think from the labor and delivery video, they got my perspective. They got like what I was afraid of, what I was going through. What were you going through?
Yeah, again, I think I was just so focused on you. You know, I just went into the process knowing that this was more of a journey for you. I know obviously I'm involved, but there's just so many things going on with you, and you're my #1 priority. And so I wouldn't say that I was stressed. I would say that I just felt bad that I couldn't do anything, where it was was just like, I'm sorry, babe, you're gonna have to do this yourself.
Yeah. Was the whole experience painful for you, and would you go through it again? It honestly wasn't that bad. Like, yes, contractions, they're something else. But would I go through it again? 100%. I would probably get the epidural a little bit early. I was like so nervous to get the epidural too early because I didn't want to stall my labor, but we will gladly do it 4 more times.
Maybe 5 more. How did you pick her name?
Honestly, I just always loved the name Aspen, and I kept asking him, like, do you have any names that you want to like throw into the pool? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, if you don't pick something or find something better, we're gonna name her Aspen.
Names are just hard. I was literally going on to AI baby generators so that I could get an idea of what a baby would look like between us, so that I could picture a face and be like, okay, what's this baby's name? But eventually Aspen, I was like, okay, I like it enough. She loves it so much, we'll make her happy. Not Dominga.
No Domingos. What would you change next time?
Ooh, I got one. Force her to make a labor and delivery playlist so that when you're on the way to the hospital and she's having contractions, going through it, she doesn't sit there and be like, no, skip, I don't want this song,
Okay, like, I never got around to making a playlist, but it is so important. Like, just having songs that are like upbeat and that you know the words to that could distract you would be great. But he was like turning on like really slow worship
that she put in her playlist of like 12 songs.
When you are in labor, you do not want slow music. You just don't. You want like rap or something. What is the best way a dad can help during the process? I guess I can answer that.
You should answer that.
I would just say, just kind of like being right beside the mom during the labor and delivery process. And like, I remember you would hand me stuff, like you constantly made sure my water was, you know, full and I was drinking water. And if I needed my phone or my charger or whatever, like you constantly were there. As for like support, we had a doula, and so no offense, but like I wasn't going to you for support. I think I was going to our doula.
Yeah, I do not know as much as a doula knows about labor and delivery, surprisingly.
But I guess like if we didn't have a doula there, just this goes for like anyone, but I think like the dad really advocating for the mom, because honestly, like when you're in the zone, like I wouldn't be able to advocate for myself, I don't think. So it was really nice to have like someone else there to advocate for me and like to calm me down, I think.
Best advice I would give is just be calm as the dad. There's enough going on. Be calm.
Did you tear, and what did you do to avoid this? Yes, I did. I had a 2nd degree perineal and a 1st degree urethra tear. Wow, this is probably like way too much information, but you guys asked, so we'll just give it to you. I would say the perineal, which is a very common tear that most people get, walk in the park. Like that was nothing. I think it was just like the other tear that kind of gave me a bunch of issues postpartum, but I did a lot of birth prep.
How did you maintain and lose weight during pregnancy and after delivery?
Well,
wait, this question isn't for me, right?
No. Honestly, I really didn't do very much. Like while I was pregnant, I was like conscious of what I was eating, but I allowed myself to indulge. Like I was like, I am pregnant, I'm gonna eat what I want. But I think like walking an hour a day really helped. And then now like I'm not even really exercising, I'm just breastfeeding, and I'm like a little bit more mindful of like what I'm eating now. And so I gained 8 pounds during the pregnancy, I lost 5, and so right now I'm 3 pounds heavier than I was pre-pregnancy.
Crushing it. And what everybody is dying to know, did you poop?
The burning question. Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little. I actually like, used the mirror, and so I watched myself give labor or give birth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw a little bit.
You didn't actually tell me this.
What? You didn't see it?
You were too embarrassed to tell me that you pooped.
No, I literally said it. I said, whoop, I pooped. I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then like the little nurses, they're like poop ninjas. They're just
wow.
As if it never happened.
They swept it under the rug without even telling me.
But I said it. I said it out loud. I said, whoop, I pooped.
Was it harder for you physically or Alex emotionally?
Me physically.
Her physically. 100%.
How did Alex react when it happened, and did he hide in a corner?
I did not hide in the corner. No, I just stayed by Courtney's side, let her have her time with Aspen, and then waited patiently for my turn to have a little bit of skin to skin.
Well, that's what's so funny is I forgot that like the baby sits on the mom for an hour. I kept saying like, well, I want Alex to hold her. I want Alex to hold her. And finally my doula was like, he will get a turn. Just like right now, it's just really important that the baby's on you and doing skin to skin. Did you want a boy or a girl?
For me, I just want at least one boy and one girl, so it didn't really matter to me what was first.
We were convinced it was a boy. Like convinced. When we did the gender reveal and it was a girl, like it's not that we were upset, but like we were so convinced that it was a boy that like we were shook. How would you explain the pain to someone that is afraid of pain? It is the weirdest experience. Like it's like hard to even put into words. It is the weirdest experience because your contractions, like the pain goes like this. And like unless you experience it, I don't know how to explain it to someone. I guess it's like a period cramp, like contracting and then like letting go.
Do you remember it vividly?
No.
The pain?
Not at all. Like I remember like being on the toilet for a little bit. Like I remember like being in triage and having contractions, but it's seriously like it's a wave. You're like, oh my gosh, here it comes. And then it's like pain and then it lets go. I'm like having a hard time communicating that pain because I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it's best compared to when men have colds. It's a joke.
Too soon.
How much does it cost to have a baby in the US?
We actually did a TikTok about this. It actually went like crazy viral.
It cost us a total of $37,000 to have a baby.
And yes, insurance did help, but I still think after insurance we paid around like $11,000. So it's pricey.
It's pricey. How long did you push for?
Only 30 minutes. For Alex, what was the actual feeling when you saw your little girl for the first time?
Again, I don't think I'd put two and two together when I first saw her, but when I started praying for her and I addressed her as Aspen, as my daughter, that's when the feelings, you know, just sort of hit me, where it's like, oh wow, I actually have a physical daughter to hold now.
Where did your water break, if you don't mind me asking? I was in the living room. I was on the phone with one of our friends, and all of a sudden I just felt like I peed myself. And so then I walked into the bathroom because obviously liquid is coming out of me. I didn't sit on the toilet because then I would have tricked myself into thinking that I was peeing. I just like stood because I was like, I would never pee standing up. So I just stood there, and that's when I was like, yep, this is my water.
I got to clean that up. Whatever liquid that was, I don't even know.
Well, it was funny because it was in the downstairs bathroom and then it was up in the upstairs bathroom, and we were getting ready to leave for the hospital, and I was like, just leave it, it's a souvenir.
Did you have a doula, and what did you do to prepare for labor?
We did have a doula. She is local to Nashville. We love her. She was awesome. We didn't do a ton of birth prep. Like pain-wise, like we didn't do any pain management, like skills and techniques. That would actually be probably one thing that I would do differently, I think, is like do some pain management techniques and like learn like breathing and stuff. But other than that, I just did like the normal stuff.
All right, this is a good one. If you had to pick one favorite moment of your whole labor and delivery, what would that moment be?
I don't know.
I think for me, it would just be holding Aspen, really, because I don't get to hold her for the first 9 months that she's alive in her belly. And so just being able to physically hold a child was just really special.
Yeah. I'd probably say like once they wheel you to like the postpartum room or like the recovery room, like all of the little newborn snuggles. That was probably my favorite.
How much of your life has changed after becoming parents?
Everything. Literally everything has changed. Like we don't even leave the house without being like, okay, first we need the diaper bag, we need this, we need that. When does she need to take a nap? When does she need to eat? And then even our sleep is altered, when we eat is altered, everything.
Yeah, literally. Our entire schedule is simply based around when is Aspen gonna go to sleep, when is she gonna eat.
I have this theory that if you have a dog, that I don't think having a baby is gonna wreck your world. But we have never had a dog or another living being that we need to take care of. Whereas like if you have a dog, you have to remember to feed it, you need to take it out, you can't be out of the house for too long. You have to be like, oh, well, I have to go home and like let my dog out. We just never had that. We've had so much flexibility to be able to do whatever we want, whenever we want, and now we don't. But being a parent is amazing. We love it. It's just like so much of an adjustment for us. Did you get an epidural? And if so, how was your experience? Guys, I was so scared of the epidural. Like people, they only share the negatives about like the epidural or like about birth. And so like I had nightmares about it. I had to go to therapy about it. I was so scared, but I had a great experience. They walk you through it. They tell you, honestly, I didn't even want them to walk me through it. I was like, just do it, just do it. And so first they give you like a little numbing shot, and so truly like it just feels like a little bee sting. But for me, I hate shots. I hate needles. I hate shots. That is probably the part that I will be the most nervous about the next time I give birth. Not the epidural, just the little numbing shot. But yeah, and then after they do that, they put the epidural in. You feel it, but it doesn't hurt at all. And then after that, you don't know that it's even in. And there's no needle that stays in your back, that's one thing I didn't know. A needle does not stay in your back. It's like a little tube. It's just like an IV. And so it was great. And then right before I pushed, they actually put a little bit extra in. And you can press a button to give you more of the numbing if you want. So if like you feel like you're like, oh, like I'm feeling a little bit more than I want to feel, you just press the button and then it goes away.
Now there is a maximum to how much you can use, but I think every maybe 30 minutes or something it gave you the option if you wanted more.
I just kept pressing the button. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
All right.
You got through them all?
That was like a lot of questions.
That was.
Hopefully we answered everything. If you guys have additional questions, feel free to drop it down below. We love you guys. See ya.
Thanks for watching.